Okay, so we are on it again to listen to Mr. Nicholas to tell us more about this particular topic, the elements of human capital management. So you can go on.
So, good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas Price, and today I will be presenting the last presentation of the Human Capital Management class, and it's about the elements of human capital management. Yes, human capital management is a vital process for ensuring that an organization effectively manages its workforce as strategic assets. And throughout this presentation, I will be giving you a comprehensive overview of the core elements of human capital management and how they contribute to organizational success. Okay, let's start with a simple introduction to human capital management. So, human capital management is a strategic approach to managing an organization's workforce. It recognizes that employees are not just resources, but valuable assets that contribute significantly to the organization's success. In practice, human capital management includes the processes of recruiting, managing, developing, and optimizing employees to maximize their value. Why is this so important? Well, organizations that invest in effective human capital management practices see higher performance, improve productivity, and gain a competitive advantage in their industry. Yeah, now let's go to our little agenda and break down the 6 core elements of human capital management that are essential for effectively managing employees throughout their journey within an organization. First, we got the workforce planning. This involves aligning the organization's talent needs with its strategic goals. It ensures the right people are in the right roles at the right time through forecasting, talent gap analysis, and succession planning. Recruitment and selection is our second topic. This is about attracting and hiring the best talent, as Christoph told you before. And it focuses on creating a strong employer brand, implementing effective processes, and ensuring candidates align with organizational culture and goals. The third point is about learning and development. This element supports employees in growing their skills and capabilities in the company. Through training programs, workshops, and career development opportunities, organizations can ensure a skilled and adaptable workforce. We also got the performance management. This is the process of setting goals, monitoring process, and providing feedback to employees. It ensures that employees are aligned with organizational objectives and are consistently improving their performance. After that, we will talk about compensation and
Okay, so today Professor Nicholas will tell us something about the elements of human capital management. Start.
Thank you, Professor Oscar. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas Price, and today I will be presenting the last presentation of our human capital management class, and it's about the elements of human capital management. Human capital management is a vital process for ensuring that an organization effectively manages its workforce as strategic assets. And throughout this presentation, I will be giving you a comprehensive overview of the core elements of human capital management and how they contribute to organizational success. Yeah, let's start with a simple introduction into human capital management. It's a strategic approach to managing an organization's workforce. It recognizes that employees are not just resources, but valuable assets that contribute significantly to the organization's success. In practice, human capital management includes the processes of recruiting, managing, developing, and optimizing employees to maximize their value. Why is this so important? Well, organizations that invest in effective human capital management practices see higher performance, improve productivity, and gain a competitive advantage in their industry. Now, let's get to our agenda and break down the 6 core elements of human capital management that are essential for effectively managing employees throughout their journey within an organization. First, we got the workforce planning. This involves aligning the organization's talent needs with its strategic goals. It ensures the right people are in the right roles at the right time through forecasting, talent gap analysis, and succession planning. After that, we got the recruitment and selection. This is about attracting and hiring the best talent, as Christoph told you before, and it focuses on creating a strong employer brand, implementing effective hiring processes, and ensuring candidates align with organizational culture and goals. The third point will be about learning and development, as you can see, and this element supports employees in growing their skills and capabilities in the company. And through trainings programs, workshops, and career development opportunities, organizations can ensure a skilled and adaptable workforce. We also talk about the performance management. This is the process of setting goals, monitoring progress, and providing feedback to employees. And it ensures that employees are aligned with organizational objectives and are consistently improving their performance. After that, we will talk about compensation and benefits. So as we talked about before, no person does his work for free. And so a well-structured system of salaries, bonuses, and benefits is key to attracting and retaining top talent. It reflects the organization's appreciation of employees and promotes fairness and motivation. And the last point we will talk about in our agenda is the employee engagement and relations. And this involves fostering a positive work environment, promoting communication, and addressing employee concerns. Engaged employees are more productive, loyal, and committed to organizational success. And together, these 6 elements create a holistic approach to managing and supporting employees, driving both individual and organizational growth. Our first element is workforce planning. This is where organizations align their workforce with current and future business needs. Workforce planning is about making sure the right people with the right skills are in the right place at the right time. And to do this effectively, we need to do 3 points. First of all, identify where skill gap exists, which we call skill gap analysis. Also, forecast future needs to predict the number of employees and skills we will require in the future, and plan for leadership continuity through succession planning, the last point. And workforce planning is essential for meeting long-term goals and ensuring the organization is operating efficiently. The second element is recruitment and selection, as I mentioned before. And this process is crucial to bringing the best talent to meet the needs of the business. It starts with job analysis, where we define what the role requires. Next, we need to find candidates, which involves using different channels, such as job boards, referrals, or recruitment agencies. And then we move on to interviews and selection, where we evaluate candidates and choose the best fit for the organization. And developing clear job descriptions and using multiple recruitment channels ensures a diverse pool of talents and that we are attracting candidates who are at the right fit for our organization. Next we have learning and development. This is all about enhancing employee skills and preparing them for future roles. It's important to offer different types of learning opportunities to accommodate all types of employees and learning styles. Some examples include, as you see here on my slide, on the right side, on-the-job training, practical hands-on experience, e-learning, online courses that offer flexibility and continuous learning, and the last point, workshops and seminars. It's formal training sessions to develop specific skills. And the benefits are clear. Employees gain new skills, they stay engaged, and they are better prepared for greater responsibilities and future opportunities within the company, and they are automatically more happy. the fourth topic we will talk about is the performance management. It is the process of setting objectives, monitoring progress, and giving regular feedback. This element ensures that employees' individual efforts align with the overall goals of the organization. Key activities include also 3 points. First of all, goal setting to make sure that every employee has a clear, measurable objectives that support company goals. Second one, regular reviews. These are crucial for ongoing discussions on formal appraisals, so employees know what they are doing. And constructive feedback, I think the most important point, because providing feedback in a supportive manner helps employees grow and improve. Yeah, and when done right, performance management keeps employees on track and fosters a culture of continuous improvement. Yeah, now we will conclude with compensation and benefits. It refers to the financial and non-financial rewards given to the employees in exchange for their work. This is one of the biggest factors in employee motivation and retention, I think. And yeah, there are several key components there. First of all, base pay. It's the fixed salary or hourly wage. Secondly, incentives or bonuses. It's performance-based rewards that motivate employees to achieve more. And last of us, benefits. This includes health insurance, retirement plans, paid time off, and other perks. Yeah, offering a fair and competitive compensation package is vital, not only for attracting top talent, but also for keeping them engaged and satisfied over the long term. Yeah, our last important element we talk about is the employee engagement and relations. And this focuses on building strong and positive relationships between employees and our organization, the employer. Yeah, it's about creating a work environment where employees feel valued and more motivated to contribute their best offers they can give. Yeah, and key components include engagement, encouraging employees' satisfaction and commitment through meaningful work and recognition, conflict resolution, addressing and resolving disputes quickly and fairly, and workplace policies, ensuring fairness by implementing policies that comply with labor laws. When employees feel engaged and their concerns are addressed, they are more likely to stay with the organization and contribute positively to its success. And yeah, all in all, they have a big impact on the company. Yeah, and to wrap things up, human capital management is essential for aligning the workforce with business strategy. The 6 key elements, as I told you before, workforce planning, recruitment, development, performance management, compensation, and employee engagement all play a vital role in building a strong, successful organization. And by investing in effective human capital management practices, organizations not only improve their performance, but also create a supportive environment for employee growth and satisfaction. Yeah, and that brings us to the end of my presentation today. Thank you for your attention, and I'm happy to take any question of you.
Okay, thank you so much for the beautiful presentation. So now let's start with the questions. Christopher.
Okay, so thank you, Nico. My first question would be general about the whole elements of human capital management. What do you think? What is the most important element of all of them you are showing now at the slide? What's the most important element?
You mean what is, in my opinion, the most important of those 6 elements?
Yes, right.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good question. I think for the employee, the most important thing is, as I mentioned, the compensation and the benefits, because no person will work for free. I can show you the slide again. compensation and benefits. Yeah, if you don't get paid your fixed salary and your hourly wage, no one can do your work, and no one will do it. So I think this is the most important thing for the employee and for the employer, for the company. I think the most important thing is the workforce planning. So this slide, because if you don't have a good structure and don't have a good plan in your company, I think you wouldn't make money, and the employees wouldn't be happy, and the work wouldn't be done as they think it should have been done. So yeah, in the view of the employer, it's workforce planning, and in the view of employee, it's compensation and benefits. I think the most important points.
One question for slide 4. Do you think in the workforce planning diversity should be incorporated? Is diversity a good point for workforce planning? Should firms aim for diversity?
Yeah, I think in every company you have to take care of diversity. Yeah, you can also. I can also give the question to you in the class. If you
Yes,
want to.
sure. Maybe Nahum or Lennart wants to say something.
Maybe you start first. So I've got a general question. Do you see any problems with e-learning?
Wait,
Like
sorry?
I think you talked about it on slide 6. Do you see any problem considering e-learning?
You mean the okay, on the 6th slide? Yeah, I talked about e-learning. Yeah, I think when you are just learning online and learning on online platforms, some people don't do their work as they have to do. For example, they wake up at 8 a.m. First of all, they turn on their computer, and then they go into the shower, eat something, and when they start efficient to work, it's 9 a.m. and then they lost 1 hour, and the company doesn't know. So I think it's every time better to go into the company and don't learn online or don't work online. So if it's the point you mentioned and the point you meant before, then this is my answer to this question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a question for related to slide 7. You said that feedback culture is important. Can you maybe elaborate why feedback is important?
Yes, that's one of the. It's a good question. It's I think it's the most important point of the key aspect for performance management, because if a employee does his work all the time and no one tells him what he's doing wrong and no one gives him constructive feedback, yeah, he doesn't know what he has to change in his work, and then he does his work all the time the same, and he cannot improve his work, and then he will always stay the same if no one tells him what he's doing wrong, because I think every time someone is doing wrong, no one is perfect, no one is doing his work 100% good, so a good feedback always leads to better work in general, I think. And yeah, that's because I think that feedback is very, very important to have a good company and to have healthy employees in your company.
Maybe it's a question for the classroom or for you, Nico. How can the company give good feedback? What does good feedback mean? Like one-to-one, or is it better to call, or should they give you maybe a written report? What could be good feedback?
I can start with it a little bit, and then you can conclude it. I think when I worked in the company, my boss did every month. Every month he talked to every employee for like 10 or 20 minutes and told him what is good. He did a rating scale from 1 to 5, what he's doing good, what is not so good. And yeah, I think it's always very good to talk to the person in face to face. Yeah, you can conclude if you want.
Yes, I would add to that. I also think feedback in person is very good. I think feedback on metric based is very good. So based on what task he or she finished in the period he worked, or she, and personal feedback with the team is very good, one-to-one. So every member of the team can give their perspective. The supervisor might have another perspective on the coworker than another worker on the same level. So yeah.
Building on that, I might have another question regarding slide 9. What can a company do to foster employee satisfaction?
Can you repeat it, please?
What can a company do to foster employee satisfaction?
Yeah, I think they can create a positive work environment, as I said before. They can offer competitive compensation and benefits, so money always. They can provide opportunities for growth, so invest in training, as I told you, and encouraging employee engagement. Yeah, I think that are 4 very good points to do it. Yeah. Do you have other questions?
Yeah, maybe let's come to the slide where you were talking about compensation.
Yes.
Yeah, so here you talked about obviously the fixed salary, but also some bonuses. And I wonder for the class or for you as well, maybe you start, if you ever experienced something like a bonus in your work experience, or was it just that you earned your base payment?
Yeah, I can start. I didn't work a lot yet because I'm just 22 years old and I studied before only. But I worked in a bank and we got a bonus because of the coronavirus. So we all of us had to go into the bank. Also, all of us had to go into the company, and because of because of the risk to get this virus, the company gave us like I think it was half a month salary more or 1 month salary to compensate this risk.
Okay, and you said you worked at the bank. Could you maybe like create a bank account at this bank for a better condition or something like this? Or was that not included in your job?
What you mean?
So
for me as a
for you as a worker, could you like?
Yeah, you're right. That's also a good point because that was for me a very good benefit because I got this. I got very good conditions in the bank, if you mean this, and I also got, for example, the credit card very cheap. So normally it costs like 200 or 300 euros, and I got it for 7 euros. So it was. So the company gave me very good conditions in this topic.
Okay, so basically you just got some bonuses there.
Yes, I got some bonuses.
Besides your payment, obviously.
Yeah, I'm also interested in the class if they got some bonuses
Stuff
in their work life yet.
Yes, I wanted to come back on the bonuses, but I think I'd rather have a question than a personal experience. And I think it's for Nico, but for all of the class, because in my opinion, I think bonuses can be good for the employee, but it can be also be bad because bonuses can lead to higher motivation, higher drive to work, and better results. But also, I think bonuses can be like a false incentive to maybe complete a project too fast or overlook some key steps or key work that has to be done just to get your bonus more faster. And I wanted to ask, like, if a bonus can also be a bad thing. Maybe I'll give it back to you or to the whole class or the professor.
Yeah, I certainly understand your point. I actually think you made it quite well as well. I think bonuses can have a negative impact on a company and employees as well. I think the best form of a bonus might be, as Nico mentioned as well, like the indirect bonuses, for example, getting bonuses within the company, so not having the money insensitive directly, so not that you get 10% more income if you do your job well, but much rather like get a credit card for cheaper, things like that, that stay within the company. So indirect bonuses that have nothing to do directly with the amount of work you put into. Also, I think another problem is that I think it will divide people more because there's more competition as well. And competition is a good thing, but I think it could be too much. So I think bonuses should be more in an indirect way, much rather than like in a direct way where you get a bonus on a completed project or something, but much rather in a general package. Yes.
Wonderful. Any other person? Okay.
I have to agree with what you said. I think bonuses are a great way to get your people to work more efficiently, but they can also be negative in some cases. For example, rushing some projects, and you need to be careful with that. And since you asked for our own experience, when I worked myself, we did get some kind of bonuses, but mostly since I'm early on in my career, it's not money that you receive, but for example, different perks like extra food or get invited for dinner, something like this. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Any other? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the job I worked for as well, let's say it was like kind of a clothing store, not pretty much, but like just a shop. And I could, as a person, as a worker there, I could buy the products from them for like 30% off. And this was like, this was kind of a bonus, even though I don't really use it because the products were not, I wasn't really interested in it, but still I could buy it for like 30%. So this was kind of a bonus, but I didn't use it quite much.
Which product?
So any other contribution? Just like Christopher said, I think bonuses could be advantageous and disadvantageous anyway, in my own view. I don't think there's any acceptable answer. It depends on the company and how they think they are getting. Some companies, they can get bonuses might be of help, but generally, just as you pointed out, I guess it might lead to some unfavorable outcome as well. Of course, we're human. Everything good has its own bad side. Exactly. Yeah. Some people can pretend and do certain things because they are targeting bonus. And before you realize what led them to that bonus you gave them, you must have regretted to have done that because it's based on pretense. So, and many other ways. But anyway, some companies see it as incentive to just boost the productivity and then make their company like kind of more effective and efficient. I think is good, but it must be evaluated, examined, and then monitored all the time to see whether it has turned to be negative than positive. In my own view, anyway. So, any other suggestions? Okay, yeah.
I would add to the problem that might occur that if people are trying to corrupt the system with maybe working less and then working less as a baseline and then overwork to get more bonus, a solution for that would be that you only get bonus based on the work you did relatively to the work your coworkers did. So if coworker B is working the same overtime as coworker A, but performs better and do more tasks than coworker A, he gets the bonus and not coworker A. So you detach the time from the task. We should look at the task done and the work and not the time sit on the office.
Exactly. I agree with you. I agree with you. Some people can come very early and clock in, but they did nothing, talking with their boyfriend and girlfriend, and then at the end of the day, they clock in late, and you think they are very effective. But someone might even come late actually, but did the actual work. So it depends. So that is correct. Any other suggestions? So, what would be the summary statement from you about this topic? What's the main topic?
I can show you
Elements of,
elements of human capital.
what are the elements? What are the elements? Okay, workforce planning, recruitment and selection, learning and development, performance management, compensation and benefits, employee engagement and relations. Wonderful. Anybody anything to add to it? Nothing? Thank you very much for the class, and thank you very much for standing in for me too. Oh, you have something? Just hold on the clapping of hands.
Yeah, you said something like performance and management. Like, how do you how do you handle on that on that performance employee, something like that? You said performance and management.
You mean
Yeah,
a performance management?
yeah.
Wait.
In core elements. Sorry.
No, here, this slide.
No. Core elements.
Performance management? Which one?
Core elements.
Core. Also, this slide. Okay.
Yeah, you said performance and management. Like, how can you handle on that performance employee?
Okay, how can you handle that part? Performance management. How? How would you know?
How I
How
can
will you manage it?
How the company managed our workforce
Performance
planning?
management. Yes.
Yeah. How the company can see the workforce planning. I think it has to. The company has their hierarchy, so it has some bosses in there and workers, and I think all of them has to have a good overview about their department. So, yeah, in their department, everyone has to do on his own, and everyone has to. They have to look how their employees are working, if they're reaching their goals, if they are doing good, and if they all come to work, and if they are like doing their job good. And if this works, I think a company all in all has a good workforce planning.
Okay. Any other question? Okay, so can we thank you? Thank you
so much.
So thank you for that wonderful performance. Thank you, Mr. Nicholas.